Welcome to Smart Business Show. This is episode 155 for February 23rd, 2018. First thing I got for you is a quick ask, actually. Can you please head over to iTunes, Stitcher, Overcast, whatever you use, give me a thumbs up, give me a good rating, tell people about it, or email it off to a friend. That'd be good too. Just email it off to a friend and let them know that I'm awesome, because I am awesome. I'm good looking. I'm also very humble. So today we're going to talk about customer moments. Customer moments can be good, can be bad. They can be lots of things. I have worn for 10 years now a pair of Choco sandals. So they used to do resoling and make it really easy. They don't quite so much anymore, but you can get your shoes resoled anyways, or your sandals. And I got my first pair resoled, and I got them back. And so these sandals have like the straps all wrap around underneath the sole and everything. And you can slide them all around. So that means I can wear them, looser for, walking around. And then when I'm going to go on a hike, I could tighten them up. Or I was going to be in the water, I could tighten them up, and it was great. But when I got them back, they were glued in. And I was bummed about that because I paid, $75 to get them resold. And I called them and they said, hey, that sucks. You've taken them down to your store. Okay, so just, we'll send them back. We'll fix them and we'll send them back to you. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's fine. Then they called me back about 20 minutes later and they said, it's way too expensive. We'll just send you a free pair. I was like, oh, okay, well, how about do you want me to take these to my store and they can go to the wrap or something? And they said, no, I'll send you a free pair. So, okay, great. And so they sent me a free pair, so I had two pairs. And then actually my free pair, the sole broke. It was the first year with a new type of sole, and so the sole broke for various reasons. And I emailed them again and said, hey, you gave me a free pair a few years ago. Here's the story. Here's the ticket number. I just wondered if I can send these back and just have them fixed. That's it. I just want to. I'll pay for the shipping both ways. Can you just fix the free pair? And they said, no way. We'll just send you a free pair. And I said, oh, okay. So they sent me a free pair, and then 6 years later, I finally bought another pair because I had, 3 pairs of sandals. Because the original pair, they still fit my feet fine, but when I wore through the soles, I sent them off to the recycling program that they have, and I did the same with the next pairs as well. And I still own a pair of Choco sandals. So, I bought my first pair in '99. That's 2018. So we're coming up on 20 years almost. Whoa, crazy. Anyway, so power of moments. Let's look at the quote out of the book, and you'll find a link to the book. You'll find the quote in the show notes. So here's the things. And it says, when people assess an experience, they tend to forget or ignore its length, a phenomenon called duration neglect. Instead, they seem to rate the experience based on 2 key moments. One is the best or worst moment, known as the peak rule, or as the peak. And 2, the ending. Psychologists call this the peak end rule. This is out of The Power of Moments by Chip and Dan Heath, I believe, which I'm reading right now. So here's the idea here. We are going to have failed software projects, failed writing projects, failed whatever, right? You're dealing with a client. They're not happy. You're super long. You're super late. They're going to hate it. You're going to hate it. You're going to feel bad about it. You can salvage it, though. And you can salvage it by looking at the peak end rule. So if you can, if there's a good spot in the middle that they can remember, and then the ending, if you can crush that ending, they're more likely to come back to you. And because they forget about all that trauma, as it were, in the middle. So just because a project's gone late, don't write off the client. Come back and knock it out of the park and really show them what you can produce, what you do produce. Send them a card after. Send them something else just to recognize that they're awesome because they stuck with you. And I have salvaged. I'm working for a client that was salvaged for like that a couple years ago, and we're doing another 5-figure project. This is like the third 5-figure project after rescuing the first one. So you can do it, and it's good for you. It's good for you. But not only that, something you see in cell phone companies is like when I look at my cell phone, which is on the last legs and dying, I find that as I look around, if I move somewhere else, I get a way better deal. If I was to be a new customer with my cell phone provider, I get a way better deal. It just kind of sucks being a 10 to almost 20 year. Oh wow, 99. Again, 99. I bought a cell phone. Bought my first cell phone for myself and stopped stealing my dad's plan. Anyway. Yeah, so as a 20-year customer, I have what's my incentive to stay except momentum, I suppose. So but how can you recognize your customers in the middle? How can you be like, hey, this is our third project together. I'm sending you a gift card. Hey, I saw you successfully launch something else that has very little to do with me. I'm thinking about this with a client who I've worked for on 3 or 4 different things, and I did some work on their site, and then they launched a new course, and the course is doing really well, and they sent me a text and said, hey, thank you so much. This is good for your work. And I'm just thinking today as I was reading this book, how can I recognize that moment for them? They launched. I did some, at least in this case, it was very basic work, setting up their e-commerce store and working out one or two little kinks for them. That's it. It was not some big project. It was a very, very small project, in fact. But we have done, healthy 5-figure projects. This was like a low 4-figure project, barely a 4-figure project, in fact. But how can I recognize that? And how can you recognize that for your existing customers? How can you say, this is our 10th project together, or you've now spent $100,000 with me, or $50,000, or whatever. How can you recognize that and make it, even a bit random for them, so that they see that you value them? Because, that's where some of their loyalty programs fall down, because it's like, hey, I just need to earn up to this, and I get it. It's like you expect it, as opposed to it being a random kind of reward and a random moment that breaks the script, which is another idea. They go in there, look at the common script for these things, and how do you just knock it out of the park? So that's it. You need to work on creating those moments for your customers if you want your customers to stick around for a while. One thing that I have started doing recently is everyone who buys a book or anything from me, I just send them a card, handwritten card with my kids have colored on it, and just say thanks. And that's kind of breaking the script from digital. People who buy digital things, they automate the card, or they do whatever, or they send no card. They put you on the email list and send you a whole bunch of emails, and I just keep sending. I'm going to keep sending cards all over the world so far. I've sent cards, which is cool. That's something that I intend to keep doing until it seems very untenable, and then I'll figure out how I can still keep doing it, I guess. So yeah, create those moments, recognize your client's journey, and you can salvage those bad projects by creating that moment at the end. That's a good peak, and that's a good ending. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'd love, like I said, see some rating, share the stuff, share the content. Would be great. Point them off to the site, or point them to the Smart Business Show. Have a wonderful weekend. Ciao.